In December 2019, leaders of 5 key Muslim nations, Malaysia, Turkey, Indonesia, Iran, and Qatar, met in Kuala Lumpur in a bid to enhance cooperation. Commentators have, however, observed that competing against Saudi's hegemony in the Islamic world was the actual reason behind this summit. Malaysia, on the one hand, have invited Iran, a stated enemy of Saudi Arabia and UAE. On the other hand, it invited Qatar, with which Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, and Bahrain have severed ties in 2017 over accusations that Qatar is indirectly responsible for regime changes in Arab world during Arab uprising. Though Malaysian government and Kuala Lumpur Summit's Secretary General Samsuddin Osman have denied forming a rival faction of OIC, but question here is, why would Malaysia invite the countries which are already facing Saudi Arabia's wrath? While Qatar and Iran have some serious differences with Saudi Arabia, Malaysia and Indonesia's apprehensions and Turkey's ambitions encouraged them for this meeting. Malaysia have begun to distance itself from Saudi's sphere over last few years due to domestic pressure and fear of being seen as too Wahhabi influenced and disappointment regarding Saudi's huge investment in Indonesia. This has resulted in withdrawal of Malaysian troops from Saudi Arabia, while Indonesia have grievances related to mistreatment of Indonesian domestic workers in Saudi Arabia. That makes Turkey only key player who joined the group to advance its geopolitical ambitions. Turkish President Erdogan was for long looking for an opportunity and a platform to position himself as a new leader of Muslim world. With Kuala Lumpur Summit, he found an adequate space to undermine Saudi Arabia by criticizing him for their unwillingness to speak on many Muslim-related issues globally. While Turkey have heavily criticized UAE for their decision of normalization of relations with Israel, while ignoring the fact that Turkey was the first Muslim-majority nations to have recognized Israel. Currently, Turkey have an embassy in Tel Aviv and their bilateral trade amounts to $6 billion in 2019. So, are we going to witness a split now? Well, the current turn of events speaks otherwise. Mahathir Mohamad, the Malaysia's Prime Minister and host of Kuala Lumpur Summit, was ousted of power due to domestic politics. The current leadership under Moinuddin Yassin is more focused into developing Malaysia's economy and employment, and is not very enthusiastic about forming a rival bloc. Another major supporter of anti-Saudi bloc was Pakistan. Pakistan's obsession with Kashmir was snubbed time and again by OIC. Frustrated by non-actions, Pakistan's foreign minister have openly threatened Saudi Arabia in a private news channel to pressurize Riyadh to speak on the matter. But the move backfired. Pakistan is heavily dependent on Saudi Arabia for its economic survival. Soon after the threat, Pakistan was made to pay back $1 billion to Riyadh, which was part of a deal signed with Saudi Arabia, $6.2 billion in lease and oil credit facility. After which, Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff, who is also considered as the de facto leader of Pakistan, flew to Saudi Arabia for damage control. Clearly, Pakistan is not going to anger Riyadh again anytime soon. Indonesia is currently concerned with Beijing's aggression in South China Sea and have signed a cooperation agreement with India in that regard. It looks like they have gave up their plan of a rival faction for now that only leaves Turkey. With recent conversion of Hagia Sophia into a mosque and mounting over ambitions, Turkish president's quest for domination of Islamic world will continue. But it looks like the split has been stopped. We will bring you such interesting analysis every week. Please subscribe to our channel and get updated with your surrounding. This is Shantanu for Samvad. See you in our next video.